Hi, everybody. It's the Saturday between Good Friday and Easter. And as I've just been sort of preparing my own heart to celebrate Easter and to remember what Christ has done for us, I just wanted to share a perspective that I imagine has probably come to many of you, but that I've been thinking about. And it's sort of a comparison between that Saturday and today and the world we live in. You see, for the disciples, Friday, actually even going back for Sunday, last Sunday, Palm Sunday, was a total high for them. It was a time when they were on top of the world. Everybody loved their master Jesus, that he was welcomed into Jerusalem, and things were going great. Then, 5 days later, came Good Friday. Thursday night, Jesus was arrested. Then there was the fake trial, if you want to call it that. And finally, the crucifixion. And they went from this high on Sunday to the absolute depths on Friday. Not just feeling bad, but actually in fear for their lives. Because if their master had been killed, then of course, what does that mean about their chances? So that Saturday, Christ was gone. They had no idea that Easter was about to come. And so Saturday was this in-between time but they didn't know it was an in-between time. It was just a time of fear, anxiety. What does the future hold? What does this all mean? And in so many ways, it feels like that's where we are today. You know, just a few months ago, the economy was booming. Unemployment at a historic low. Things were going well in a lot of ways. And I'm not even going to get into politics, because that's a whole another matter. But in general, things were going well. We were on a high. We were on a roll. But then, January, February, the virus, and suddenly we were plummeted from this economy going well, things going well all over, to suddenly everything had fallen apart. And we're wondering, when is this going to end? What does this mean for us? Just like the disciples, what does this mean? In fact, I mean, if you think about it, they were locked in the upper room for fear of the authorities. And where are we right now? We're sort of all locked away in our homes, waiting for the all clear to say it's okay to come out. And we're in this in-between time between the bad that has been forced upon us and what the future holds. And that's a really hard time for us to be in, because we don't like to wait. We don't like the uncertainty. Most of us, to be honest, we'd rather be a lot more in control of our lives. And we hate being at the mercy of circumstances that we have no control over at all. And so on this Saturday, between Good Friday and Easter, maybe we can identify a little more today with where the disciples were. Although, to be honest, it's probably a lot more difficult for the disciples, because for them it was personal. For us, it's affecting all of us, but for them, it was them. They were fearful for their individual lives because they were afraid that someone was out to get them. The leaders were out to get them, to quash this rebellion that led them to crucify Christ. And so how do we move forward in this time? Well, you know, one of the questions is, what does it mean to get back to life as normal? And they're telling us that as far as the economy goes, it's going to be a long time before things get back to normal. If we ever get back to normal, or emotionally, or culturally, this experience might just change the way we look at life. In fact, I hope it does in many ways. What does it mean for life to get back? How do we move forward? You know, the truth is that the only way to move forward really is to know that we have a purpose, that we were created for a reason. You know, that's what the disciples ended up realizing after the resurrection on Easter morning. Because, I mean, think about the disciples. They were uneducated. They were poor for the most part, sort of a ragtag bunch of people. But what happened? They changed the world because of the resurrection, because of Jesus Christ and the power of the resurrection working in their lives. They no longer cared about the circumstances around them. In fact, with Christ, they no longer worried about whether they were going to die at the hands of the authorities, because they knew God had called them, had gifted them for a purpose: to love the world, to love people, and to share that good news. You know, no matter what road you've walked on to get to today, no matter what your socioeconomic background, no matter what your education, no matter what the world may think of you or how they would rate your value, that has absolutely nothing to do with your true value and your true purpose and your true destiny. This group of uneducated, poor disciples literally changed the world for the last 2,000 years. So my question for myself today, and hopefully the question you're going to ask, is what does the future hold for me? And how does Easter change everything? The resurrection of Jesus Christ. You know, Scripture tells us that the same power that raised Jesus Christ from the dead is at work in you and me, those who believe, who have received the gift of God, and who have God's Spirit working within us. And so, what is your purpose? How does God want to use you to love the people around you and to literally change the world? You know, this virus has made life difficult, inconvenient, but you know what? A lot of the world lives lives that are difficult and inconvenient every single day. The first disciples lived lives that were inconvenient and challenging and difficult every single day. It's not an excuse to not live a full life. And so today, in this time of waiting, I pray the Lord would take away your fear and anxiety and would give you a greater sense of purpose and a sense that you were destined to change the world, starting in your small corner, wherever that is right now. Bless you. Talk to you later.